Those summer days, yes, summer days are right around the corner. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Little Sly and the Family Stone. We all knew they were stoned. But, hey, it's summertime. Hot fun in the summertime. I'll be there in the country sun. That's what he said. I'll be there in the country sun. It's a gorgeous day here at the fabulous Wynema Ranch, Alliday LLC. Coming to you live this morning. It's Preservation Thursday. Preservation Thursday, of course, Preservation Thursday brought to you by that drop dead gorgeous Kim Savage. Pink poodle skirt, saddle shoes. Come on. You know she's going to look smoking hot. 804-539-4333. If you're in the Richmond, Virginia area, you need preservation services, you need property maintenance services, that's the girl. She'll get you taken care of. DeLand, Florida area. Team Ironclad, Brett Douglas, military guy down there. Thanks for the service there, Brett. 386-774-0800. You got landscape maintenance needs, he'll get you taken care of. You got property preservation needs, that's the go-to guy right there, man. Go-to guy, Brett Douglas, Team Ironclad, DeLand, Florida area, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, today, I got an update. Oh, May 22nd. Everybody's been asking me, what's going on with FAS Bowerman? May 22nd, the penalty phase of that starts. That's, and on the same day, I don't know if it's going to be across the hall, across the street, but it's in the same court, same district. Vincent BAMS. We're going to... May 22nd, that is when the next court appearances for everybody are. Well, we don't know anything about the AMS case yet. We'll know more on that coming up here. But again, May 22nd, keep that date in mind. That's when the penalty phase for FAS is going to happen and the opening for the AMS case. And of course, the AMS case parallels the FAS case, parallels the Hearst decision. Are we going to go 0 for 3 with NAMFS members? I don't know. We'll see. We'll soon see. But let's see here. Some things have been going on this week, and I'm noticing it a little more. And what I want to talk about today, I'm going to be very generic in what I talk about today. Today's subject, if you will, for today's piece, implactors versus business persons. Are you an implactor or are you a business person? It's a simple question. I say this because I see a lot of people calling out companies in social media. And, you know, there's a time and a place for something like that. I don't necessarily agree with it all the time. I do think social media allows a form of transparency, but here is the thing, and this is the big thing right here. Everybody needs to understand this. When you call a company out in social media, they don't respond. There's a reason for that. It's the same reason I started my Twitter campaign with about the GMO issue. Once you start putting stuff out there in social media, the algorithms pick things up. Once those algorithms pick things up, and I think we all know by now that they're going back 5-6 years on some of these people. If it's out there in social media, it's out there. It's out there. They can go find it. If they know what they're doing, they can go find it. So when a company doesn't come back and respond, you owe me money. When that company representative or that company, whether I don't care which one it is, put any name in there, I don't care. By them coming into the public domain, this is where Monsanto got into a problem. They released something from a part of an email. Now that email becomes public domain because they released a part of it. You can't say something they can't. It's a liability issue. It's just real simple. It's not that you're being ignored. They can't. They have to protect their company. Now, if somebody accused me, when you get accused of not paying somebody, that's kind of a crime. It's stealing. When somebody accused me of that in a public forum, if they accused Alladay LLC of that in a public forum, I'm not addressing it in the public forum. Get real. You don't want to talk to me, we're going to deal with attorneys. Simple like that. Simple like that. Now, I have some questions that I just want to put out there. Today is going to be more Business 101. As I said, are you an impactor or are you a business person? What are you? An impactor is an incorrectly classified employee as an independent contractor with specificity to the mortgage field service industry, property preservation industry. There you go. A misclassified, incorrectly classified employee as an independent contractor. And that's what the courts are finding out right now, that you really are an employee. By law, you're an employee. By law. Compliance. By law, compliance. Goes hand in hand. You. Hello. Okay. One of the biggest issues right now that I keep hearing is licensing. I'm not getting paid. I'm not doing this. I'm not a bunch of stuff. And a lot of stuff dovetails into each other. So let's start with this. You haven't been paid. Your contract is net 30, pay weekly every week. Let's start with this. Do you, as a company, as a business, have a reliable tracking system? Is your tracking system, is it good? Is it proven? Do you have a good accounting system going on? If not, you need to develop one. That is always one of my first questions, because that net 30 pay every week can get confusing. It can get convoluted sometimes. Sometimes the net 30 doesn't happen. And here's what I find. Sometimes there'll be a net 30 and somebody's complaining about not getting paid when the check was cut at net 27 and they get it at net 40. You see what happens there? There's a lot of things that go on. And let me say this before I go any further. There's probably 1,000,001 ways not, and I repeat it, N-O-T, not as in Sherry at NFN, not to get paid. There's only one way to get paid, and that's if all the ducks are in a row and you've done your job correctly the first time. Did you invoice the work order properly? Was there a mistake there? Is that what's hung the money up? Is that what's hung the payment up? There was a mistake in the invoicing. That's on you. Were your photos QC'd? Were they QC'd in-house, or do you have a third-party QC in them? Do you, as a company, have a quality control policy? If not, I got to do a shameless self-promotion plug here. We do help people develop policies for their company that best suit the needs of their company. That's something we can assist with. Give me a call. I can help you out. A QC policy is very, very important. And before I go today, I'm going to interject something, and I'm going to ask some very critical people in the industry to seriously consider this. It involves a QC policy. So we'll get to that at the end. But for right now, do you have a QC policy? Have the work order services had a on-site QC? Have they had a quality control inspection? Is that in-house for you, or is it a third party? Is it somebody else? Are you relying on somebody else to check your work? There is an advantage to that. It's called a fresh set of eyes when you have a separate person do stuff. Have you exhausted all your collection procedures? Have you said, hey, look, we didn't get paid on this. We need you to take care of this. Send a couple emails. Have you done anything? Have you double checked in your collection procedure? Have you double checked that, say, 30 net 30 pay weekly, bi-weekly? Was there maybe something got messed up? Who knows? If it was a rehab job, did the realtor sign off on it? There's a tricky one. And this is why right here, realtors being involved, I've always said that the realtors are a pretty integral part of the deal with labor. They're on this end, why management and the client is over here. Everybody needs to come to the table, Mr. Miller. Everybody needs to come to the table, Mr. Mingham. Tony Newman over there at International Association of Field Service Technicians. Everybody needs to come to the table. And there's 4 parties there. We'll get to that with the QC policy at the end here. Do you have the correct invoice numbers in your processing? That's part of correctly invoicing something. On a QC inspection, did the debris that was in the house, was it found behind the fence? Or did it get taken to the dump? In other words, did you complete services correctly? If the garbage didn't get hauled to the dump and it's behind the back fence and somebody has made a stink, you did not do the job correctly. You did not complete services per the specs. And even though the industry has been declared by law employee status, it doesn't mean until that issue is resolved on the big picture here, ladies and gentlemen, we have to deal with status quo right now. Believe me, the employee independent contractor issue is going to come to a head this year and very soon, but right now we deal with what we deal with. If you did not complete services correctly, they did not get signed off, you don't have QCs, there's just so many things going on. The biggest thing that I hear from management, because believe me, when my name gets mentioned in social media, I start digging around, I start looking, I get on the telephone, I get on the email thing, hey, what's your side? Biggest thing from management that I'm hearing, and all kinds of management that I'm hearing, nobody produces a spreadsheet. This goes back to collection procedures. Do you have a collection policy? I mean, come on. If you don't submit, and then, okay, you did a job for me. I don't really care for the way you did the job, so I pay you and I don't ever use you again. You get pissed because I'm not giving you any more work and I'm giving your competition all the work, and now you want to badmouth me. But yet, you have no way, and this is where I have a beef with anybody in labor jumping out there saying, hey, you owe me money. Have you? I don't know how many times, if I had a nickel for every person in labor that contacted me stating, so-and-so owes me money, okay, where is your documentation? They have none. That is not a business person. That is somebody who's just getting by, man. They're not. Look, if you're going to be a business, if you have a business license, you've invested. Let's back this up for just a minute. When you get a business license, insurance, accountants, talk to attorneys, you're spending revenue. That's what I call investing in yourself. This is why property preservation companies are going so belly up because there's not enough money left over after everything is done. After all the bills are paid, there is no money left to reinvest in themselves. They're living hand to hand and they go broke. One thing goes belly up, they're done. So, when you do all that stuff, you are investing in yourself to make money, to generate money. Why sidestep something? If you can't go into court without documentation. You know, we have this thing in America where they say you're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. If you don't have documentation for your accusations, they're moot. Your accusation becomes moot. It's frivolous. And the judge is going to say, get out of my courtroom. Don't ever come back here with this kind of crap again. They'll admonish you very, very severely for saying it, for doing something like that, because you've wasted everybody's time. If you're going to say somebody owes me money and you're going to contact me, you better have a spreadsheet. You better have serious documentation of why they owe you money, because that's what the judge is going to want, number one. Number two, it's just good business sense. That's business. Keeping your records is business. You don't want to know why? There's an agency that we all love to hate called the IRS, and they go back 7 years. You got to have records. You got to have records. Come on. Come on, man. How do you say somebody owes you money? And I'm sorry, I don't understand. It's like a scientist lying to people about a subject and calling themselves a scientist. They lie about the science on something and call themselves a scientist. To me, that is a person with no integrity. If you're going to accuse somebody of stealing from you, you have challenged that person's integrity. You better have documentation over here. You better have something in your hand. You better have some kind of proof, because you have challenged that person's integrity. Whether it's a company, an individual, I don't care. But when you say somebody owes you money, they're not paying you, and you do it in social media, you are jumping on somebody's integrity and you're stomping on it. You're saying they're a thief. You're saying their character's no good. You better be sure about that. You better be sure about that. And you want to know why I can say that? And there's people out there know I'm not a choir boy. I've been a guest of a governor or two. I know when the conversation has been lost on that end, when they bring that into the equation to try to shut me up. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't work. Why? There's only one. There is only one defense for libel and slander. There's only one. Now, I'm not being sued. You got to think about it. I really do try to dot my I's and cross my T's when I go and put a name out there in an article or put a company on a watch list. I'm not... I like what I have. I want to keep it. Let me put it that way, okay? When you start doing liable stuff, when slander, when you start going after somebody in that manner to debase them, you bring a lot of liability on yourself. You better have those ducks in a row. And that's all I'm saying. If you're going to say something about a company owing you money, have you presented the information to the company so they can rectify it? Are there companies that are going to ignore it? Yeah. But for the most part, if you're able, and this was my experience. Look, we had, when it came payment times, there were always issues with our clients, some of them. Yeah, you got to remember, when you're invoicing $40,000 a week, $50,000, when you're invoicing a lot of money, mistakes happen. Why? Because I'm a human being. I make mistakes. You're a human being. We all make mistakes. They happen. And in business, when mistakes happen, they're usually financial consequences. And that's what makes those mistakes really hurt. So I guess my message today, implactors just start making accusations. They have no records. They're afraid to act like a business person because they were hired. And I'm not saying this to be mean or to be negative about anybody in the industry. But the reality is this. People are recruited looking for a job. People are not looking in the business opportunity section of a website, the newspaper. They're looking under general labor. You might get recruited because you're running an ad for mowing lawns. You might get recruited because you have an ad up. I do yard cleanup. I'm hungry. Will work for food. You know what I'm saying? That is how the industry recruits. Those are the people they look for. And I'm not, I understand that concept. They look for those people because they know they can get them for less money. They walk them through a business licensing procedure. They walk them through the insurance, get insurance from this person, do this, do that, da 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 da. We all know the song and dance that's played here. So is it any surprise to me when somebody says, hey, they owe me money, and that person claiming they are owed money have no records? No, it's not. But I'm going to tell you right now, and perhaps the new kids on the block, do they have business development going on? I know NAMFS does. I don't necessarily agree with their business development, but that's my opinion. That doesn't mean it's bad. That doesn't mean it's anything. That's just my opinion. Okay, so just because I have an opinion does not make something bad. It just means we have, and we agree to disagree. That's what that means. Fraud information. Foreclosurepedia.org. Foreclosurepedia.org. Up to the minute fraud reporting in the property preservation industry, ladies and gentlemen. Not sure what he's got coming up on his podcast this week. I know we're anxiously awaiting some developments within the industry on awards and whatnot. There are a few things going on out there that are just crazy. Of course, the Aquin Altisource deal with the do not use list, and I'm not sure if other industries have one of those, man. I mean, I don't know. That seems pretty kind of obnoxious to do something like that. Let's see if I can dig something up here. Oh, there it is. Remember, it's not that difficult to keep records. If you look, when we developed our company, one of the biggest things you need to understand about doing business, I had a business partner that was very anal about record keeping. I'm not saying that in a negative way. I got my ass chewed quite a few times, but that was not I'm bad at it. I'm not really that good at it. So I have somebody that is good at it. And that's what you need to understand. You need to understand your weaknesses and strengths as somebody going into business, and find somebody to complement your strengths with their strengths. And that's what Lacey did for me. She was kind of the rock behind what was going on here. She took care of the records. She developed accounting systems that were good for us. We did everything together. We discussed everything, and that was important. But earlier I stated I was going to talk about a QC procedure. I want everybody to think about this for a minute. And this portion of today's Preservation Thursday, brought to you by Women at Work in the Richmond, Virginia area. Kim Savage, she owes me a dance. She owes me a dance at the prom. She's been invited to the prom. Tell her she got to get that pink poodle skirt and them saddle shoes on. Get that little white blouse with the frilly collar and sleeves. You bet. Got a little pink bow around there. You got it. But today, and of course, Women at Work, 804-539-4333 in that Richmond, Virginia area. She can take care of all them property preservation needs, ladies and gentlemen. Quality control. This question right here is directed at Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, and Tony Newman over at International Association of Field Service Technicians. For many years now, we have been saying we need an industry standard. We need a minimum standard for everything. Who are you, man? Stop. Stop. I don't know who you. This just in. We have been saying that we need some kind of a minimum standard for everything. One of the biggest issues are callbacks, work being incorrectly completed, not getting paid for something that they should be paid. There's a lot of questions going on. If we are to be true independent contractors as a business people, boots on the ground people, what if the powers to be would accept this procedure? And again, Mr. Mingham, Mr. Miller, and Tony Newman Mr. Newman over at the International Association of Field Service Technicians. Of course, Brian Mingham. Mr. Mingham heads up the National Real Estate Services. They're a big entity nationwide. They provide service everywhere. And then, of course, Mr. Miller, the executive director of the National Association of Mortgage Field Services. And they're the three main players, I think, right now in the industry to deal with this issue. We all know there's a window to get this work done. What I don't like, and what I think would benefit everybody in the industry, if the assignment of the work, the client pushes property ABC or 5A Street out, we'll just make some numbers up. The client pushes out 123A Street to you. On day one, you provide a complete property condition report on that property on day one. Property condition report obviously includes all the hazards, all the safety stuff that needs to be done, all the damages to the property, how many cubic yards of debris there are there hazardous waste materials to be removed? I don't care what it is. You give a complete property condition report on day one. On day two, you discuss the parameters of the job to be done, the work that needs to be done, and you negotiate everything that needs to be done on day two. The work then, and only then, is a work order submitted by the client to the contractor, and I'm thinking this might be an answer to this independent contractor employee problem, because if this happens, you truly are an independent contractor because you're negotiating your own numbers, you're setting your timetable, and at that time, on day two, you're discussing the parameters of the job, how long it's going to take you, what you need to do, and you're asking, I need to get paid this much money for this. On day three, that job gets done. If it is a huge job, you negotiate the timeline at the time on day 2. But if any company is worth their salt, there's absolutely no way a property, once that work order is issued from day 1, absolutely no way that property is not on the market within 5 days. Absolutely none. What if the powers to be accepted that procedure as a industry standard? And I'm talking everybody, HUD, FAS, AFAS, MCS, Safeguard, everybody, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, all of them. Think about that, Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, and Mr. Newman. That right there could be a very key element in a solution to a lot of the issues in this industry. I don't know. I'm just saying. It would eliminate the BS backcharging. That is number 1. Number 2, everybody would be in agreement. There would be no surprises. There would be no, oh, well, we didn't see that picture. Oh, well, you didn't say that. There would be nothing. Everybody would be in agreement on what is getting done on the property. Right now, that isn't happening. There's no communication. It's just not happening. There's this flat fee and you will do this for this amount of money. That makes me the employee. That makes my company the employee. That is not how it needs to be done. Me and you need to talk about getting the job done because I'm paying the employees to get the job done, not you. I'm paying the employees, and I have to respect the labor laws. I have to be in compliance with the labor laws. A $350 fee for a 20-yard trash out, there is absolutely no way a 20-yard trash out gets done at $350 with everything else that needs to be on there and somebody stays in compliance with labor laws. It cannot be done. I'm sorry. Just cannot be done. So I don't know how people are doing it. How people are doing stuff for $18 a yard, $14 a yard, $10 for a grass cut. They can't make these numbers work. How it's being done is absolutely beyond me. People are cheating the system, and the system has been set up to be cheated. So naturally, management is way better at cheating the system than the other end is. And that, call a spade, you call this whatever you want, but that is the reality right now. And it needs, and you know, it needs to stop. It's like I said, the real estate agent needs to be involved. The person selling that property needs to have a relationship with the contractors. And that is, I don't see a lot of that in the industry. Why? Because those two people are left out of the money in the negotiation. But yet, those two entities in this industry, it's demanded of them to assist these people over here fulfill their contractual obligations. But yet, they're not included in the negotiation. They're not included in the ciphering or whatever you want to call it. And they need to be. All those entities need to come to the table. Think about this, Mr. Miller, Mr. Mingham, and Mr. Newman. Day 1, company submits a property condition report, a complete property condition report. Everything, all damages, all whatever. How many nails you're going to pull out of the wall? How many rips are in the carpet? How many cracks are in the foundation? How many shingles are missing on the roof? How many wires need to be capped? How many light switch covers are missing? Everything. That's how you negotiate a fee. And then the company can negotiate a fee that helps their company make money. There's absolutely no reason for you to be doing a job for $350 that costs you $500. And I'm seeing a lot of this. So, again, if you need assistance in developing policy, developing spreadsheets, AllidayLLC.com, AllidayLLC@gmail. Shoot me an email. We can get you set up. We can get you some help. AllidayLLC.com, ladies and gentlemen, AllidayLLC.com. I have not posted lately except with Preservation Thursdays and GMO Tuesdays because I'm having, again, equipment difficulty. I'm waiting on a new one of these boogers so I can do typing and stuff and start writing again. I do have some articles backed up that I will be pushing out again. Advertising. We're looking for advertisers, especially on the West Coast, Midwest. Everything I have right now is on the East Coast, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, $20 a shot. That's a month. We get you taken care of, get you up on the website too there. Strawberries. I got strawberry plants. If you're in the Reno area, $4 a dozen. You can't beat them. I just got through selling 250 to a gal that we're going to do a big pyramid thing for her. And then another gal just bought 100 and something from me. She's going to do a step thing for her mom. So that's pretty cool there. But $4 a dozen, folks. That's half the price of Walmart. Yeah. What can I say? Sometimes some got it, some don't. I got it. They want it. I got to get rid of it. Hey, $4 a dozen for strawberries, ladies and gentlemen. We are having a great day. As you can see, we got sunshine. I don't know if there's going to be lollipops out there, but we got the sunshine today, ladies and gentlemen. Kim Savage, get that pink poodle skirt ready, girl. Get that. And hey, if you're out there in that Richmond, Virginia area, I don't care where they post this on social media, put a comment down there below. Say, Kim, we want a prom picture. That's it. That's it. If you like what you hear, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up. Be really appreciated. And I hate to go down this road, folks, but with my injury, I've been limited on work I can do. I'm depending on donations right now on the website. In the right-hand column there's a donate button. If you can help out, it's sincerely appreciated. Anything helps right now. It's a donation through the PayPal system. And like I said, if you like, you can subscribe. You can hit the like button, pass this around, share it with your friends, share it on social media. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, going to be a great day. Let's have a good time. Let's all be safe out there.